Welcome back, everyone, to Pontus Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 2 of Game of Thrones. We are playing Mother of Dragons expansion, and we also have the Dances with Dragons cards for some of our houses here. Season 2, we're wrapping up Game of Thrones month. We've played through almost everything, so if you want to see us play Game of Thrones Risk, Clue, in our first season of the original Game of Thrones, you can check out the links below. We're getting ready for October, planning out the games, and we will focus on two themes. Halloween, by playing a number of Cthulhu-based and horror-based. So we'll play Resident Evil and Eldritch Horror, Cthulhu Wars, Cthulhu Death May Die, and all of them will be in the Hastur theme. So we're going to have a Yellow Sign month. It's going to be our horror month of October, and it's going to be all things Yellow Sign. We've got Hermeticism of Hastur coming out from Giuseppe Balsamo. It's volume 2 of the new series by Balsamo that we've got from Pontus Fathom Press. It is in proof now. It's not available yet, but it will be out there soon, so you can track it in our Patreon. Check out the bookstore below for updates. But it definitely will explore that Yellow Sign in the relation to August Moldenhauer's trilogy. Also, October will be Dune month, the Dune movie release. We want to really celebrate that, so we'll have a number of Dune board game playthroughs. We have Dune Imperium coming up. We'll do the unboxing and playthrough of that. I also special ordered some of the Dune Imperium miniatures, so I'll do the miniature paintings as well. So excited for that next month. Let's jump into turn 2. Want to show that one mechanic right away of, as we move to turn 2, we get our first mechanic from the new game, which is the dragon strength. The dragons actually start out with 0 strength. So if you guys can see these, this is the dragon token. They have 0 combat strength to start out with. So just like in Game of Thrones, they grow over time. So now our dragon has 1 strength, so this will allow them to have combat. We also have the first card in the Faceless Man in the Iron Bank. And once someone takes a loan, we can get into those next. So let us, our quick recap of turn 1 is basically just that we've had a small skirmish between House Stark and House Ern, and now we're going to head off to our 3 cards that we've picked here. We've turned over each of these, and we'll kind of go into them. So first off, we've got a Throne of Blades, first card of the Westeros deck, and we have one Wilding advancement, so we'll advance the Wilding 1. And then it says, the holder of the Iron Throne's token chooses whether everyone updates their supply then reconciles army, everyone musters units, or this card has no effect. Well, Baratheon, I don't think I want anyone else mustering units because everyone is pretty well placed. I don't think we're also lower on the supply chain here. So, and I think that would just give more power to the 4 houses that are ahead of us in supply. So I think I'm going to have the card has no effect. So that'll be our first move. Baratheon sort of slows things down. Game of Thrones is card 2. Each player collects 1 power token for each power token printed on areas he controls. Okay, so that's interesting. So we'll go ahead and add power tokens for this. So there's 1 for Tyrell, and one for Sunspear. Are they all 1? Guys, let me know in the comments if they're all 1. One for Baratheon. One for, I think it says printed on the areas, not tokened on the areas. So it's just the printed ones. I think everyone has 1 then. Let's kind of go through and give everyone 1. Yeah, everyone has 1. So let's move across, and that should be good. Okay, so we're in card 2 of Westeros phase. Card 3 of Westeros phase. Put to the sword. The holder of the Valyrian steel blade chooses one of the following conditions for the planning phase. Defense orders cannot be played. March orders cannot be played. No restrictions. The holder of the Valyrian steel blade. Again, so now this is the holder of the holder of the Valyrian steel blade is actually House Greyjoy. And Greyjoy will cannot do march orders. Yeah, I think that might be interesting. So they will not do... How about cannot play defense orders in this? Cannot play defense orders, okay. And then finally, Targaryen player may discard 1 power token to place a loyalty token on either Blackwater or the Boneway. So we've got Blackwater, cannot. A loyalty, oh yeah, we can. Or the Boneway. So yeah, I think that House Targaryen will definitely do that. They'll discard 1 token, and then they will go and get a loyalty token. And where do we want to place it? On Blackwater. I think they're going to go with the Boneway. I think they're going to put this loyalty token on the Boneway. So now they've got their first new loyalty token on the board. So that should be interesting. And that's going to do it for our Westeros phase. We've resolved the Westeros, we've moved the Wilding track. Now we're going to go into assign orders. So let's go ahead and assign the orders. We'll start out with Baratheon. Again. And we'll make our way through these. So I've already kind of get these ready. And then we will go into next in line is Lannister. House Lannister. And then we move into House. Now, obviously, guys, you know that this game, as I say in all of my walkthroughs, these games are meant to be multiplayer games. I mean, this is not a single player game. But what I like to do is work through the mechanics of the game and get ready for, I tried to play this with a group of people. We didn't record it. We didn't record a video. I just played it as a group. And people get frustrated with the setup time, checking the rules. So I'm really trying to build up my familiarity with getting these things done quickly. I think storage solutions too help a lot with this. Like if we have really good storage solutions, I've noticed that a storage solution can help you to get your play time down much easier. So do you guys find the same? Leave a comment below if you believe in the storage solution saves the day theory that I'm purporting here. Okay, so we got the iron set up and adding some tokens here, and the Greyjoys. And lastly, we will go to House Targaryen. I have to go around the backside because the table. This board is huge, guys. It's a huge board. We've gotten the we've conquered Bravos, so I think the next step for us is to really maybe make a bold move here to. I think we can move that and then. Okay, so we just have to put some token down on each of those, even if there's not really an attack happening nearby. So let's kind of go with those for now. Again, I don't think I'll move the dragons just yet. I'm afraid that they'd get injured or damaged in battle. So similarly to in Game of Thrones, the dragons kind of don't go into attack until later. So we've got the assigned orders. Let's reveal orders, and we'll just kind of go through all of these. You know how the even when the dragons were fully powerful. Remember? Oh, I forgot to do Sun Spear here. So let's just reveal these as we deal them here. Even when the dragons were powerful, they were not made to. I mean, they were still vulnerable to attack, right? We still saw that the dragons were vulnerable to attack. So even when they were powerful, so we should just be wary of. I just want to be wary of those dragons, and make sure we save them for later because they are quite powerful, and let's use them wisely. Greyjoy one is missing here. Okay. This is this one. Okay. And then we'll turn over Stark and Eyrie. And Baratheon's has some units at the top, and then Targaryen. Okay, so one of the conditions was defense orders cannot be played. And I just wanted to see that there is a few defense orders in here, so I will remove the defense orders. It's like people didn't follow the rules, so they can't be played, so that means they're not going to be honored. Right, so defense orders anywhere are not honored. Let's think of it that way. So that's our first cleanup that we can do. Secondly, we'll look at raids, clear out the raids. So here's a defense order also out. Clearing raids. There is a raid in a raid. This raid sort of cancels this raid, so that kind of works. This raid, no one to raid nearby. And this raid cancels this raid, so that works out, right? And finally, though, this is the interesting one. Can a raid get the consolidate power? Yes. So House Stark is robbed of that consolidate power by the Greyjoy raid. Or consolidate crown there. And again, nothing else on this side. Okay, so, and then one more raid here. And that cannot do the marching order, so this raid just gets pulled. Okay, so marching orders cannot be countered by the raid, so that's fine. So now we're into planning phase, action phase. We've done raid orders. Now we're going to resolve march orders in combat, so let's check out the march orders. First march order I think I will have is this Greyjoy marching order and this Greyjoy marching order to here and here. So Greyjoy is going to attack on here and as well as here. So once against Lannister and once against Tyrell. So we've got those two combats to resolve. Are there any other combats we would resolve here? King's Landing will go on the attack in King's Wood against the Baratheons. And we're going to do the combats in order, right? We have to do the combats in order of the decks. So let's start out with Baratheon doesn't have a combat. So next, we resolve to Lannister. Lannister will take this combat with Kingswood. Right? So they have this Kingswood encounter. So let's resolve that one first. So in Kingswood, Lannister and Baratheon will both play. Lannister has -1, so they're 1-1, and their cards will determine. So we reveal their cards, and 1 and 1. Your final position is equal to the current position of the wilding track. So 4 versus 2. So it looks like Lannister retreats, and that's cool. That kind of resolves that combat. Next one to resolve is we can go on to Greyjoy. Greyjoy will... Oh yeah, sorry. Stark will fight against this other ship in the Narrow Sea. So House Stark and House Arryn will go. And let's see who they resolve. And House Stark will win it. Oh, so we can remove him from the discard pile. And Reek, if your Ramsay Bolton house card is in the discard pile, is it in the discard pile? Ramsay Bolton? No. Return to your hand. If you lose this combat, you may return Reek to your hand. Okay, so they both get to return these cards to their hand. So that's interesting. But it looks like the ship is going to retreat. I'll have it retreat back to port. So that's resolving of that combat. Next is the I guess the next one would be House Targaryen. They've got these ships. They're going to move them across, and now they will do this attack onto House Stark again. So now House Stark gets one, and House Targaryen can pick one as well. And it's 3, 4 plus 1, and after combat, gain an equal number of power tokens to the difference of the final strength for House. So the final strength, the difference is -2. So 3, 4, 5. So they are going to get 3 extra power tokens from this attack. So that's interesting. And this will have to retreat back to the bite. So that is cleared. And any other combats to resolve here? Well, this combat. Let's have them come in and fight this. I think that this one gets discarded. Guys, just check me on that. Now it's defending, right? So it's discarded. So it's 2 versus 3. And we'll get another card to go in with this. So it's Baratheon is taking on Targaryen, which is sort of appropriate, right? So for these we have Daenerys Targaryen and Sir Axel Florent. If the embattled area contains dragons +2, no, it's just +1. So they actually have to retreat back. And victory for Targaryen. And finally, we have Greyjoy, massive attack on Lannister and Arryn. Let's just resolve both of those. So we can get a Greyjoy and Lannister. So Greyjoy and Lannister. Greyjoy 1 and 2. Sir Adam Marbrand. If you are attacking, you're not attacking. You may discard a number of your available power tokens to increase the combat strength of this. Well, they already have 2. It's -1. It's 1 to 1. But they can discard so they can discard 2 of these power tokens, and then they can win, basically. So Greyjoy takes this, forces the ship to retreat, and now this ship will retreat this way, we'll say. And these are resolved. So those cards get discard piled. And then the final battle is Greyjoy. Greyjoy is really on the attack here. Greyjoy versus Tyrell. And again, it is 1 to 2. So let's just see how this plays out. Greyjoy adds the card. Tyrell adds the card. Marjorie, if you're defending, yes, one of your power tokens. No, it doesn't have one of her power tokens. Well, we are defending our home area, right? This is our home area, right? They have +1, so their final strength is 2 with the 1. So they still have 2, but we have 1. We need to retreat back, so we retreat back. And then finally we have this last combat, though. This last combat at the edge of the board here. There's another +1 here. So they can attack back to House Greyjoy. So let's just resolve that, where Tyrell and Greyjoy will face off. And Queen of Thorns +1, Carl the Maid +1. So it's 2-2. And Tyrell is lower in the Iron Throne, so they can force House Tyrell to retreat. So House Tyrell retreats down. So that looks like the end of the march orders. So let's just kind of put these back. And let's go ahead into consolidate power. And we will wrap up turn 2. So consolidate power on the board. And we'll do cleanup while we're here. We have 2 for Targaryen. We have for Martell 1, 2 for Martell. House Martell has 2. For Baratheon, Dragonstone 1, 2 for Baratheon. For Greyjoy in Pike, they have 1 Pike. Greyjoy. Now Greyjoy spent some coins to win, so that they definitely need some more. And then Tyrell gets to consolidate as well. Stark does not have consolidate. So let us then give Tyrell, and that's going to do it. So thank you guys for watching. When we come back, it's going to be turn number 3. And you can check out the links here or here. We'll either have a link to the playlist or to the next chapter. So check either one. Just go to Season 2, Turn 3. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next turn. Bye-bye.